Hello and welcome to another edition of the Architects Podcast. And in today's edition, a very interesting one, we're going to be talking about how architects secure their commission. Now remember in our last video, we mentioned that the Code of Conduct does not allow architects to advertise the way every other profession advertises. So since architects can't advertise like every other profession, how do they secure their commission? So we're going to delve into that very deep in our today's episode of the Architects Podcast. With me here is...
And architect Odo Peter.
And I am Chisom Anosike. So welcome once again.
Welcome.
From the last discussion, we realized that the guidelines for advertisement in the profession for fully registered architects, is almost like you're not allowed to advertise.
Apart from the A3 size.
Even up to A3 size, all these 100 mm height nameplates. They're almost invisible.
Yes.
So what services do architects even render? Both the ones that require you to be fully registered, the ones that don't require you to be registered with the body. Can you talk about some of those services? And then we'll now talk about how you can secure commissions in any of those services.
Okay. A lot of services are involved when it comes to architecture. And in as much as the profession requires, expertise, it requires knowledge, and it requires experience, there are some that you can be doing in service of the, main bulk work, to add as a consultant or specialist. I will give you an example now. Things like visualization.
Mm-hmm. It's not regulated by the council.
I don't know. But I'm not seeing anybody saying anything about it. But then the thing there is this. When you are into visualization as an architect,
yes,
you can do your visualization for registered architects and get paid.
Okay.
Now you don't need a license to do that.
You don't need to put a seal on the visualization.
It will be part of the seal.
Those are additional
service. That's very interesting.
Something like that. Or if you are doing things like details, working drawing for a registered architect, we do that. You understand? Or maybe let's say, what would I use as an example now? You know how to, but I think this one comes with experience.
Or you are helping architectural firms set up their building information modeling practice.
Yes.
It's a job I think you can do without necessarily requiring any full registration.
BIM and what is
service the ideas. There's one thing the lecturer used to tell us in school, that if you service the architectural profession, you provide services to architects.
Yeah.
You're also contributing to the practice.
Mm-hmm. So all those things, maybe you can prepare like documentations, all these presentation documents, like magazines, all those things for presentations. All those things are niches that you can do that may not necessarily require you to, have license, fully registered. You understand? But then, coming to the part of full registration or provisional registration, because provisional registration, when you get it, okay, you are not fully registered, but you can design some, buildings. I think the maximum you can go is one suspended floor.
Yes.
Other than that, you will now be working under the supervision of a fully registered architect and licensed, because sometimes registered architects are not licensed to practice. You get, because you can be registered, but your license is expired.
Yes.
That means you are not fit to practice at that moment. So let's use the word fully licensed architects. Okay, now, if I should go further about how an architect secures commission, apart from the fully registered ones, you can actually market yourself to these architects, by going and showing them. But before we even go into this, I don't know if Architect Peter has
any other view on how architects secure their commission,
both
fully registered,
the
licensed,
services that architects provide.
Services for architects.
So, with regards to the commissions architect can secure, I think model making is among them, physical model making, which is a very big aspect of our job. But many people have neglected it these days, because no matter how beautiful a visualization is, it doesn't come close to the actual physical model. There is no deception, I'll call it that way, that the 3D artist always creates in his render. So that's one. Then secondly, I think an architect can also be, if you are good with writing, you succeed in architecture. Yes. This is a surprise to many people, but it's true. Because the amount of writing in architecture in professional practice is almost the same as the amount of drawings for a project to be delivered. So before the contract stage, a lot of drawings. But post-contract stage, a lot of writings. And I've seen architects that are good with writings excel very professionally through the course of their career by being able to manage and communicate effectively. So if you have these two additional skills as an architect, you can actually secure commission on those areas.
Yeah. In addition to what they've said, architects can also be project managers in a project. You know, the code of conduct, everything provides for the architect to do that kind of job. And architects can also be contractors. Yes, architects can be contractors and they can secure contracting jobs. Now, I've seen these various ways, that the various services that architects provide. Now, how do architects even secure their jobs?
From family and friends.
Have you done any job before? Have you done any job before? Either services that don't require supervision and the one that requires supervision. Yes. How did you secure yours?
Actually, the first job I ever secured, see, me getting any job, particularly in architecture, because growing up, I did not know I did not have any close relative that is an architect. So it was when I started doing IT. That was when I met people at the office where I did my IT. I did IT at Okechukwu Onochie and Partners. Onochie, but not my father. We just happened to have the same surname. We just happened to have the same surname. So I did IT there, and I met some wonderful people there. And I started putting in my best. And in so doing, they started giving me things to do. Okay? We started doing measured drawings and all those things. Then after my IT, I got on my own, I got my first working drawing to do from a friend that I met in the Department of Architecture. And so that leads me to, you get your commission, whether they are paying you well or not. You get your first commission. I think most people are like that, from your families and friends. So when you now start doing those your friends and families work, then those friends and families can now start recommending you, and now you can now start building on that network. Yes. Clients. And then your past work now will now start speaking for you, which is another way you can get a project through past works. You get. And after that one, you can also exhibitions, competitions. You can do architectural competition. When it is done, you exhibit it and then say one or two intelligent things about what you have done and how you have been able to achieve it. Firms can even approach you.
I was going to get to that because I think the ultimate thing with all this build-up is for you to be spotted by a firm.
Yes.
For you to now get into the proper practice.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you can't just finish this thing on your own and then...
And be doing freelancer from the one.
And so it's for you to, show what you can do.
Yes.
Then build that confidence in other architectural firms who are likely to start looking for your services.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you enlighten us on how you... get maybe your first commission, any other notable commission you can remember?
I'll tell you how I got my first commission, and then I'll tell you how I got into practice.
Okay.
That my first commission after my master's, because I'll call all the commission before my master's as a quack practice. So, I got my first commission after I presented my 300 level first semester design project in school. And after that presentation, one of my friends in school saw my work and then decided that this is the person that will design for his uncle. I'm sorry for that man because I designed rubbish.
Hey, I hope the man is not watching this.
So I can't really remember, but I did that design. I think it was a duplex and with all sorts of angles. Like the 90 degrees in that design was like less than.
You want to show your design muscle?
I was going haywire with angles. So I finished it and I traced it actually. Showed one of my lecturers. The guy shouted. It was like, why don't you just make all these things 90 degrees? I was like, it's too late, traced already.
Oh, he traced, he didn't even print.
I know.
That was back in the day.
Yeah, I couldn't print. So we traced, and after tracing, we went to do a blueprint because you run the tracing paper through the blueprint. And so that was my first commission, and it was from a friend So most times your first commission is always from family and friends.
Yeah.
But there's something I want to emphasize on, which then I did not know. What I did not know is that my first work was actually a portfolio. But I did not know that was a portfolio, because what happens is I kept the work so much, I cherished it. That is my design that I did in school. And then the guy now went through the design and saw that maybe my neatness of work or something was okay for him to now recommend me. So I think the best and foremost way for architects to secure commissions in 2024, first thing first, you must have a portfolio of your school works coming out from school. That's my take on it.
I think we need to even talk about this portfolio and what should be inside the portfolio and how to arrange a portfolio.
But that one will be a broad topic for another day.
Yeah, because a lot of videos online, but they are focusing on the technical, the graphics, all those things.
They are not focusing on the content.
The content, which I think is very important. What to have in your portfolio?
For me, I don't know. Would I consider the practices I did when I was in my undergraduate days as quackery? Well, it wasn't quackery because I didn't.
You can be arrested for
that. I
that.
published it. Apart from doing my best, I published it under a registered architect. So it's not like it's my work per se, but I got the job of my own. I think I was in third year during my IT. I have this friend of mine. We worship together. So he too is into contracts, like site contracts and the rest. So someone wanted to do a block of flats. And I said, I know somebody, a young chap, he can just get this thing done for us. So he took me to go and meet the client. The client is a woman. So the woman owned the property somewhere in Enugu. We went there, we saw the site. My first site visit before I started designing. Because all those days in school, they would give us sites. And we don't even know where the site is. So this particular one, I had to go with the man. We visited the site.
I mean, you're not wrong, but you don't have to say it.
I don't even know where the site is, but this one, I had to go and visit the site first before I started designing. Then I designed a block of flats. And we rendered it. Well, the thing at the time, it came out nice. To the point that another student even had to steal the 3D and posted it on Facebook as his DP for a long time.
Mad.
So that was my very first commission as a student, before we go into other commission. Now, I want to talk about these clients now. When you do the job for them for the first time, how do you make sure that they come back? How do you keep your clients?
There is a philosophy I have with jobs, and it's a very simple one. Is how you do anything, that's how you do everything. And people that employ people and clients always take note of that. In fact, if you are working with somebody that is very good, the first time you submit a work to that person is a make or break deal. Because the person can easily just look at that work. Even if it's a very small aspect of your work, the person can just look at that work and conclude whether we can proceed or not proceed. So I think the best way to keep clients, the first way, and which is the best way to keep clients, is to make sure that you deliver good jobs the first time you do the work. And also, this is difficult because it's going against our last video. You may not focus on money the first time.
Me, I think if you are providing value for the client, then you should be paid very well.
As a young chap, I'm talking as a young chap.
I know. See what I said. See why I said that. Because the reason why I said this thing is because now, when you want to keep your client, you need to keep, because most of the time, client is looking for who will do the job, who they will work with. But us as a professional, I feel like us too, we should be looking for clients that we can work with as well. Because it's not every client that comes that. But with the situation of things, I don't think we can really come out and be saying this. But the truth of the matter is that it's not every client that is a good client. So if you want to keep a client, I believe we should keep clients that are
worth keeping.
Yes, that is deserving of the values that we bring, which is why we need to make sure that we bring the best value that we can to each project. And when you bring it, I mean, don't you deserve to be paid what you deserve to be paid? Definitely. So I'm like, value. If you want to keep your client, value. And if the client is a good client, the client will want to pay you what you deserve.
I want to interject. What about young architects that are good, but they are just starting out now.
No, if you are working under somebody, if you are learning, understudying somebody, you have no business talking about money. What I'm talking about is, okay, let's say I've understudied somebody for some time now, and I'm doing some things. I'm providing value. If I'm not providing value, if I'm providing value now, okay, for somebody, for a client, like say I'm doing visualization for someone.
I was going to even come to that. That I know that you are a CG artist.
Yes.
And I know you have some clients that you've retained over time.
Yes.
How did you keep those clients? What were you able to do to make sure that those clients didn't leave you for another person?
That is
because I know that you're not the only one offering the services.
I'm telling you, there might be some.
And you may not be the best person.
I am not.
So how do you keep your clients in your own way?
That is what I'm telling you.
So just give us a practical example. Okay. You may not mention the name of the client. Client A, I've done so jobs for him for 2 years now, 3 years now. How were you able to keep that client A?
Clients that I've been working for more than 4 years now.
Good.
And when I started with them, I am not as good as I am now then. But and probably I'm not charging as much as I'm charging now then. But the thing about the entire thing is, the first time we worked together, I gave it my best. I brought as much value as I can to the table. And that is more value than the person has ever seen.
As at then.
So, in as much money is never an issue for us. I will tell him.
So it goes back to what he's saying, that you.
No, I will charge him. I will tell him what I feel is okay for the job I'm bringing. At the time. And he will bargain, of course. He will bargain, but at the end of the day, both of us will reach an agreement that I feel is okay for the both of us. Not the ones that you will tell them price, they will start schooling you and telling you that children of nowadays,
you have to build relationship.
What are you doing with money? The reason why I'm here is because of the relationship I've built over the years. That you shouldn't be talking about money. That later they will settle, they will give you, or you are getting
do the work. Now later the money will come.
Yes. No. The person actually understands. If it's business, they will bargain and all those things. And at the end of the day, you understand. And over the years, he keeps coming back. And the quality of service I keep giving him keeps, because I'm someone that like improving, and because there's always room for improvement. So value, provide the value, and be someone that is easy to work. When you do something that is not to the taste, because I work with mostly architects, okay?
And they cannot be satisfied.
Yes. When they are coming to you with these corrections of things that they feel like you should do better, understand that this is their project. You are helping them get it to, understand, so that you don't start feeling like somebody is coming to mess with your work, or you give them the reason to actually tell you what they want. So if you are somebody that is easy to work with and you provide value, don't worry, you are going to get what you deserve.
So for you, in order to keep your clients, you provide value for them. When you provide value, they keep coming back. Yeah. So we've seen that first, you have to give value and make sure that you give your clients the best. Because the truth is that you are not the only one doing what you are doing.
I'm telling you.
And you may not even be the best person doing what you are doing. But when you are able to wow the client, at least even if the client is looking at your price is high, and when they look at the value you brought to the table, they want to come back.
Yeah.
They want to come back. Then, have you ever gotten a commission through referral?
Yes, that is how I got almost all my commissions now.
So all the commission through referral.
Because I hardly, you see, there's nothing wrong with, especially if you're into CG or this visualization, architectural visualization, there's nothing wrong with posting your work online, on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you are comfortable.
The code is not against it.
Yes, that's the loophole. There's nothing wrong with it. For me personally, I hardly do that. And I don't do that because I'm afraid of. But I feel like since I work with mostly architects, they should be the one to post the work that they paid me to do. That is my own, modus operandi.
So that it's not like you are stealing their design.
Yeah, so that there won't be all this. And at the end of the day, you would think, okay, because I do that, nobody will notice me or see my work and all those things. And for that reason, I will not know. Those same, when you are using, let me use an iPhone for example now. When you are using a product that you are proud of, let's say iPhone, you want to show it off. You want to let people know that I'm using iPhone 13 Pro Max or iPhone 16 Pro Max.
iPhone 16 Pro Max. That one is not even in circulation already.
It will be.
The event is
By the time they are watching this
later
video.
this month.
Eventually, it will be. You want to show it off.
Okay.
That is the same way it is when you have somebody that is very good at what he does. You want to show off, okay, this is the person that does all my 3D for me. Go and work with him. He will give you maximum this thing. You understand? And another way I get commission is through public interest service. I have a YouTube channel where I teach softwares. And also, I post some of my videos on, and I've gotten some people
From
Twitter. They want, okay, since you know a lot about this and you have been teaching
this
people,
job for us.
please do this job for us. Like some people have gotten, both on Instagram, both on Twitter.
So it also falls into that category of community service, getting
Community
a
service.
commission through community
Yes.
service. If you record in the other video, we say that you can go to your community, your village, do a structure for them, put your name.
Yes,
There.
something
This
like
one
that.
now, if you're also teaching, is part of
It's part of
community
community
service. And
service.
somebody can say, this guy is very good
Yes.
at this.
Yes.
Come and do this for us. And when he does it, when you do it for the first person, you see that
Referral.
other people will start, they may start
Yeah.
linking you up to other people.
Exactly. So referral is very key.
That's why it's important to maintain good relationships with good clients.
Yes.
Because in architecture, you cannot say you distort your social circle. Like you cannot leave everybody in your social circle, go to a different place where nobody knows you to start practicing very easily. It's always easier when the people around you know that you are good. Then you are always sure of getting one or two jobs to do. So
Yeah.
they can know you by public speaking online. They can also know you by belonging to different social groups.
Yeah.
Maybe your community group, your church group, your
Yeah.
neighborhood watch, maybe the security group or something. But once you are there within the social circle, then you get a good client. It's easier for people to refer you. And also people refer you when you have good character too to work with. So they know that you've not stolen their money, you people didn't fight, you know. And our contracts in architecture, they are very complex.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful to manage it in such a way
Very
that
careful.
you avoid conflict with your client. And even if a conflict should arise, you find the most professional and amicable way to.
Yeah.
Then another thing, I also think for you to secure commissions in architecture, the architecture profession, you also need to carve a niche for yourself.
Yeah.
Like a niche
I was about to
where
even say
you
that.
have few architects doing a particular job. Let me give you an example. I know that there is this guy, I think in Lagos, Click. He does a particular kind of thing that is not so common, like superimposing buildings in real site and all
And
the
nobody's
rest.
even
So
doing
if
that.
you carve that niche for yourself, you realize that anybody that wants that kind of job
Is you.
will just come to you.
Even when they don't know, they
And
do
they-
research you.
They will
Come
just
on.
come to you.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know you, they will ask people
You will
that
now realize
know.
that even architects too will just be pushing their job to
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because there are situations when some jobs will come to some architectural firm
Mm-hmm.
because they don't have the technical know-how to deliver that job.
Yeah.
They will bring it to you. I think it has happened to us
Yes.
a particular time when an architectural firm had to move a whole big project because
So
they don't even have the hardware to handle it and
the
they don't have
skills.
the technical know-how, the skills
Yeah.
to pull through that kind of job. They will bring it to you.
Yeah.
So if you carve a niche for yourself where there are few architects doing what you are doing, you secure a lot of jobs through that.
Yeah, and to add to that, the one you just said now is with respect to tech. You can also carve a niche for yourself with respect to the type of design that you do almost all the time. You can major in hospitality design, where you design a lot of hotels, all those things. And whenever people want to design hotels now or you can focus on public building, like
You'll be the
government
first
projects.
person on their mind.
They will consider because you have done a lot of it and you are good. You can even major in toilets.
Please.
Yes, now.
You can measure in toilets. Now. Is it not somebody that
it's
designed
somebody
the
that
toilet
designed
in an airplane?
measure in toilet and do all those things. And each time they want to do like great toilets, like Zara did, you know,
Yes.
Zara did toilets, you be the one to be there. Because you see, the thing about all these things that you see toilet and kitchen, those are one of the most expensive places because of the type of materials and
The finishing,
and finishing
the
and
embellishment.
so if you are skilled in it, you know how to specify the good product and quality. It's a niche that you can focus on and start getting commissions. Things like say you like all these modular housing is also something. So apart from the tech aspect of things, you can also measure in some particular type of design, and you get commissions from those.
Then again, architects can also go into production.
Production.
Example is architects can go into producing things like furniture, cabinets, and the rest.
Yes.
And you know, when architects go into that area of the construction industry, they do really well because they have eyes for details
And ergonomics.
and ergonomics. Make
Zaha
sure
did.
that all these things they are providing is going to be perfectly suited for the space they're planning it for.
It's
I know a
very
lot of
important.
architects who are into furniture production, and they are doing really well.
Yeah.
They are doing really well.
I think in the coming years, interior design and furniture making will be a very, very big industry. It's already a big
is
industry
already.
right now.
It is, oh.
Like,
Industry.
well, like maybe we don't know the market cap, and I think we have good wood, but most of our woods are still imported. The time somebody, like what Dangote did with the refinery, the day somebody will get a very big factory that produces like the laminated boards,
Yeah.
these ones were important.
So-
The industry will explode. We have wood in this country. We have like western, southern Nigeria has quite
Southern
a lot
Nigeria
of wood.
has good
Yes.
rainforest for those kind of wood.
Even
I
in the
think
west too.
when I visited Edo States, they have very thick forests where they, cut lumbers almost on a daily basis.
Even,
I hope they
even,
plant.
even
I hope they plant new ones.
Even in Enugu.
Lumber
I hope they
on a
plant
daily
So
basis.
because we can't keep cutting.
No,
and all
what
the plants.
happens is those people that cut, actually they know how to cut. So let me tell you, if you've seen where they cut a tree, although on sustainability issue, they don't cut the tree from the root.
No, the stump
They
is
actually
left.
cut the tree somewhere around here,
They will leave the tree
and
stump.
if they trim it properly, maybe with some other stuff, depending on the age of the tree will still
grow again.
grow again.
Or it
Now,
will still take years.
it will
to
take a lot
mature
of
to the
years,
level
yes.
Where they will use it for
Cut it,
another.
yes, but deforestation is not always bad. Sometimes it can prevent fire outbreak.
So please, deforestation is bad.
Has
No.
Nigeria had any wildfire issue?
We don't have
Because we
wildfire.
don't
We are
allow
not
it
Australia.
now. We cannot allow it.
It's
We
not
cannot
because-
allow it.
Is it
Hey,
because we
sir.
can't allow it? Or that maybe our geographical location doesn't.
Yeah.
The issue of deforestation, I think we should even talk about this more, because the issue of deforestation is we need trees, because if not for anything, they provide oxygen, they renew the air that we breathe,
Agree.
and also
Agree.
for climate. I know you are not
So-
a believer of climate change.
No, I think climate is always changing. I'm not a believer in catastrophic one.
All right, let's just leave this talk for now.
So we've seen the architects are going into furniture making. It's a very big industry that can accommodate a lot of creativity.
Yes.
If architects can delve into that. What about things like masonry production? Do you think that architects can also secure commissions from, let's say you are producing things like interlock, prefabricated, maybe vertical sun shading slats, or all those kind of stuff
Yeah.
that
I don't think there is anything wrong with an architect like producing components.
talking
of-
about production. We're still in production.
Yes, that's what I'm
yes.
saying. I don't think there's anything wrong with an architect producing an element that he's going to use for his building construction.
Not just for
Let's-
him, for
For
other
others,
people.
yes, now. But charity, they say, begins at home. Let's say you design the space as an architect, and you went further to design the beds and the seat that will be inside there. There's nothing wrong. You designed the building and you went further to do your own quality blocks they are going to use, so as to ascertain the quality, the high quality of all those things. I know they are testing how you can test all those things, but if you have the means to do it, and for others as well, and there's nothing. I don't see anything. Architects can actually as well go into masonry production, do interlockings,
Curbs.
do all those balustrade, all those balustrade that you can make with all those things. Can do it. These are things that you do on site anyway.
Or you can also do and make these things in standard sizes that can be used in almost any kind of project.
Yeah.
And so that it's not always bespoke, like the way we have Zaha did designs where in a building, they
no
have
single
like
panels.
they have like all the
Yes.
panels having different shape and requiring different.
If you
mode,
design like Zara did, you
having
can't
different modes.
you can't blame her for designing her furniture, because if you bring a normal furniture
It will
inside,
not
fit
fit
in.
in.
It will fit in
it
into
does
the
destroy
picture.
the whole thing. So,
So-
but I think, sorry for cutting you short, but I think as architects, the ability to offer varied services within the building profession is a lot, because you notice that people that offer those services, they meet you as the architect for jobs, and so it is, for me, I consider it like a travesty to the architecture profession as themselves, for an architect not to at least try as much as he can to earn some commissions in an industry where he is leading. And you notice that everybody calls you Oga, Sir, on site, everybody. And those are the people you dish out millions to. Meanwhile, your money is very small. Say that, sir, well done, sir. You say, I've sent you 10 million. Well done. They'll say, thank you, sir.
But then
you
our
start
money
collecting
being small is,
commission.
I think it's our own, it's our
You
own
start
doing.
collecting commission from
It's
there.
our own doing, because if we charge what we are supposed to charge, according to the provision, but we have already had that conversation.
So far we've seen how architects can secure commissions. We've also seen how architects can keep their clients. Because the truth is, every client you get, you want to keep it.
Yeah.
Because that client may lead you to your next 10, 20 clients if you're able to keep that client. So you don't want to joke with any client. You know what they say, the customer is always right.
And
So you have to treat your clients like
And
a
it's
customer.
important to know that you can't keep clients by lowering your price or not charging what, because the moment you want to say, okay, I got you with cheap price and cheap all these things.
You want to now
Want to increase.
The moment
They
you
will
do
run.
that,
they'll be like, you've changed.
the
You've
moment you do that,
changed.
they'll be like, it's like this guy, it's like you're getting proud now. They will even make sure that you lose them, so that they will show you that you can't just come and increase price. So it's just, that's why it's good that whenever you get a client, charge what you know you're comfortable charging, so that at the end of the day you don't lose them when you now want to charge what you want to charge, because you think you, quote unquote, you have them now as your client.
Although, when you charge what you are supposed to charge, even when you get them, your charges can increase. With good clients.
Yes,
With good
over time,
clients.
your
Your
because
charges, yes.
when you have a good client, the client understands that inflation is on the rise
Yes.
every day. So
And
the
man's
client will
growing.
not expect you to be where you are, even in 3 months' time.
I know.
That's how bad it is.
But that's not what I'm
Even
talking
in
about.
3
Though.
months' time.
When you are increasing due to inflation,
No, I get
it's
your
different.
point.
Yeah.
The point is, don't think you're going to keep any client by lowering your price.
Yes.
It won't work.
Let's say
In fact, you will end up keeping the wrong client.
Yeah, let's say you want to do a job now. You decide to charge something that you normally do for, like, say, as an instance now, 100,000. You decide to charge 20,000 just to get that particular client. Tomorrow, if you want to charge the next project, you want to charge as little as 50,000 now, they will not want to have it. It's different from increasing small due to inflation.
Yes, that
that
one
is-
is different. So I agree with you on that.
So that is it on our discussion in this episode. So if you are listening to us, if you are watching us on YouTube, please don't forget to like. Drop your comments on how else you think architects can get their commission. Or how did you get your first commission? You can drop it in the comment section and they will be happy to look at it. Or if you also have other suggestions on how architects can get their commission, do leave it there in the comment section. We'll pick it up from there. So thank you so much. And as usual, please keep sharing this video to anyone who may need it.